Hello everybody and welcome back to the Gaming Geezer 1965. This time a request video. And that's why I also put it in front of the queue. So not on a Saturday, not on a Tuesday, but on another day where I don't release a new video with something that I think I want to share as fast as possible, instead of put it behind the queue where I left off with my regular schedule. And this is one of these cases where I'll take the fast lane, so to speak. I don't have too much communication in the reply section down below, but somebody asked me in one video, can you show me your version of Big Mouth? Well, I can do much, I can do even more for you than only show my version of Big Mouth. I can show you both versions of Big Mouth, so you will see the difference and you will hear the difference, if there is a difference at all. I know that the program probably will be the same, minus that color change, but the demos are different, because when it comes to the demos, I think the other version, other than what I had back in the past, was better. But since I'm so used to what I bought back in the past, I wanted to say what have been given to me, but that shop didn't give me the program, I had to pay for it. So let me start by my version, because that was the request, and then I will show you the difference. But let me say one thing honestly up front. The original was on cassette, but I don't know where the cassette went. I don't have it anymore, and I actually am bummed out about that. It's too bad, but this was a backup. Usually after the cassette load in, the program started automatically. But once during loading and it was done, instead of that, I've been given a screen that looked like this, except for the Jiffy DOS there. Then it would have been just the Commodore name and my shift load and the messages that Commodore gave. And suddenly ready was flashing. So I thought, you know what, let's turn on my drive, put in an empty floppy, and let's see if I can save Big Mouth. And that's how it turned into a disc version. So what I'm showing you now is actually the tape version, and the tape only had one demo on it. So let's start. I'm already in the folder B, where, well, this is the same. That's just my version with a lot of things that I did together with it. But this is the most important one. I can show you the contents without going to... this trick I learned, that you can watch the directory without going to basic and then load in the directory. No, just one more further, and there we have Big Mouth. There's a few games with there, but let me see. Yeah, Bay demo. This was the original demo, because there's another demo, I'm Big Mouth, but that's something what I did myself. So, oh, we can actually start from here too. So, Big Mouth, run.
Welcome to Big Mouth.
And this is my version. As you can see, there's no start screen, and the letters are blue. This is actually also how it looked like when I booted this up from tape. So this was what you had. And now we'll have to load in the demo. Usually it's just run, stop, restore, shift, run, stop, and then press play on tape, and then the demo would load. But in this case, oh, I didn't connect it yet. So go back, mount disk. That's better. And the demo scrolls right above, I guess. Dus, so I need to interrupt and get the original demo. Let's clear the screen and list. I will leave it here, so if you got the other version of Big Mouth, but you actually want to hear this one as well, just make a print screen, and maybe OCR software can even put it into text. Then you can put it into Vice, and in Vice you will make a disk image, and you can just put it on a disk image, and then you have it like I have. Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a hassle to do it in that way. You might also want to type it in. And the first thing that I'll notice is that even though you can just type in regular English, they have been putting in a lot of those, how do you say it when you instead of you write it, is phonetic. They write it phonetically so the program would speak better. Well, let me show you the demo. So I will be shut up after I do run. So you can actually hear what it says.
Thank you for buying Big Mouth. I am sure that you will be pleased with me. As you can hear, I am quite a smooth talker. You can make my voice high, or you can make it low. If you want, I can talk quickly, or I can talk very slowly. Have fun using me. Bye bye.
Why did I like this demo so much? That is, first of all, in a very easy way, you can memorize what poke numbers do what. For instance, you can make my voice high. Line 35, there's a short timer, so you don't get to hear him speak in one go. So you get like a natural break in talking. And then after this break, we'll get to see, oh, I'm going the wrong way, this poke number. And this one is you can make my voice high. It's weird, instead of a small I, they get like a Greek Y. But that doesn't matter, it's not about this. So you know that this poke number, 39, is about the pitch. So the shorter the number, the higher the voice. And now you can make it low. It's the same poke number because we're still adjusting the pitch. And now it's on 80, so you can make it low. And what they also forgot is, if you would put in a dot at the end, then the tone dives down at the end of the line. So it gets even lower. So you can actually play with punctuation, so he doesn't sound so monotone anymore. So getting a bit of a natural break, you can also use a few of these dots, points in a row, and then it will also have a break, so you don't have to program these timers. But that's not the thing that it's on about. And now we will talk quickly. And as you can see, the change in poke number is 39, 43, 9, 39, 43, 8. So the only thing that changes is the 9 is turning into an 8. And now you can change the speed. And in this case, the lower the number, the faster he will talk. And as you can see here, 80, and then he will talk slowly. And another timer, and the end phrase. That was all. So the demo is nothing special. But to me, it is fun to have this demo. First of all, to refresh my memory, because I don't memorize these poke numbers anymore. So if I would make a story with different voices, I would load in the demo and I'll just got the poke numbers in here and would put the poke numbers, for instance, in line number 5, all the poke numbers, and then I have a memorization, and then I start just 10, 20, 30. I always jump through as 10 points in between. And I guess that the demo maker didn't want the speech and the instructions, the poke numbers and the counters. The counters needed to be on an uneven number. I guess that's how he did things. But that doesn't matter. So you've seen the demo now. Let's new this. Let me see if SPK still works, because usually when you type in new, you also erase the program. But I guess we're in the work environment of Big Mouth now. The only thing that I'm not fast in is finding the shift button. I'm usually tapping the Commodore button then. So I can type quite quickly on the keyboard, but the special keys, they are still a bit of a stretch for me. Because yeah, you are so used to PC keyboards by now that the Commodore keyboards are a bit more, yeah, getting used to.
Hello my friends, how are you?
And as you can see, I didn't write phonetic, but still the speech was clear and understandable. So there's still nothing in memory because I directly gave the command speak. So now let's change. Because, oh no, I wanted to show you the difference in between. So you've seen my version of Big Mouth, and that was not so special, but for me it is. I must say that this one, the version that other countries got, I think is better. Let's first reset the Commodore 64 with a clear memory. And now we will just mount the disk. And as you can see, this is actually the disc version, how you would get it if you would buy it in the shop. Maybe not with this behind it. Maybe this is the cracker that made it copyable. I don't know. We will see what's what. And already now I can say it's amazing how you can get a nice English talking speech synthesizer in 66 blocks. I wonder how much memory that is. Let's just load this. I don't know if this one prefers the comma one as well, so let's just do so. It will not automatically start. Ah, cool. Well, this was how the cover looked like from the cassette. But then, of course, not so pixelated. But I must say, I love this pixel art version. Wow, the breadbin turning into a mouth. In my memory, the lips were on the right side instead of the left side of the keyboard. But I guess they did it because of that 64 logo with the power light and the oh so clearly visible function keys. Man, I must say, they really nailed the art. And you get to see who actually made the program, an Orbit Data production. No, maybe space. And as you can see, so you get a picture. I didn't get that. Also not on the tape version. Not when it was, how you say, suddenly didn't start up by itself. This screen I also didn't have. So this version explains much more of the program. And you can use plus or minus to read. I will scroll in so you can press pause. This is the next part that you get to see. And then I will go down under a list for A. And this is the next screen. Ah, look, they show you already the poke numbers. But to be honest, when it comes to poke numbers, I guess they will be using them in their demos as well. We will see. I must say, I truly enjoy the extra information. I mean, this is something that should have been on all versions of Big Mouth. Enjoy. Well, I remembered, but I will go back up, that pressing the arrow back key is playing. So,
Welcome to Big Mouth.
And as you can see, the letters are now yellow. And instead of an empty screen, which also was in my original version of the disc, you actually get to see, as if it's like a Commodore 64 built-in ROM. What you have in here with the Jiffy DOS. Hey, if you go to Memories and ROM, the kernel ROM is now Jiffy DOS. And it almost looks like now Big Mouth is the kernel ROM, but it still says Jiffy DOS. So now let's check the demos. The first example. Only one block, so it will be very short. Oh wait, I will show you the listing first. Oh, man!
Hello, please type what you want me to say.
Also, what I noticed immediately is they didn't write phonetic in here. It's just how you expected them to do so. Also, I don't know if I'm correct. I will have to listen to the audio back in video edit. But it looks like they adjusted the default pitch a bit lower than my "thank you for buying Big Mouth. I'm sure you are very pleased with me." But that might also be the poke numbers they used, because in here there's no poke numbers. And the second example is 2 blocks, so maybe we get 2 lines. I wonder why they've put in this inversed close bracket at the end. So still the same number as before, but now they oh wait, the numbers I programmed in 1984. Oh, and on the internet I saw that they made the program in 1982. But that would be amazing actually, because the Commodore was released in 1982. So maybe the one on the internet confused the release date of the Commodore 64 itself. Let's run this.
Hello, please type what you want me to say. Hello humans, I am Big Mouth and I can speak. Programmed in 1984, just for you. I now work for you on the 64. Will try me out and load demo and see how to code me. Just kidding. I will speak to you later, goodbye.
I don't think they understood. If you put in the numbers separately, he will say 8, 4. But they wanted him to say 84, so... Oh. Oh. I made a... I don't know what he will do if he will speak this, so let's do it like this. And now just run the line number so we don't have to wait for it. It's number 3.
Programmed in 1984 just for you. I now work for you on the 64. Will try me out and load demo and see how to code me.
So, that was the second demo. And we got one more demo. It would be weird if this was the demo that I had, but that can't be, because the 2-block listing was still shorter than the listing that I had. So actually, I prefer the demos from my version. Or demos, I mean demo. So yeah, you get 3 examples, but they are very short. And that second example also used the first line from the first example. Why? Then just remove that first example and or leave the first example like example 2. Let me see what this one is. Oh, that's more than I expect. I don't know what it's from. There's a name, I'm Shira. I guess it'll be a cartoon or something from the past. Who knows? If you know, let me know, because I'm curious. I don't know. Let's run this. And they are finally playing with poke numbers, so we get to hear different voices and different speeds, I guess.
Hello, open the page doors. I cannot open them. They seem to be jammed. I can open them because I am Shira.
Shira is a woman, I guess. Oh man. But yeah, that is something what I used to do. As you saw in my, in this War of the World, I did the whole story. I will show you a little bit. Mount disk. First, new. Let me see how long it is. And judging by, by the line numbers, I didn't put in extra spaces. But this, I guess it was because when I was making this, when I was typing this, I must say, I knew I wanted to tell the story. So even if there was like an error or a mistake in there, I don't need to insert a line. So when you don't need to insert but only, for instance, change things how you want him to sound when he says it. Let me list and see if I start with poke numbers. Yes, I start with poke numbers. So I wanted to have a default voice for this story. And let me run this first part, but I'm not going to let you sit through the whole story of that unless you want me to. If you hear this and you think, oh, that's cool, because there are also other people in there, like the parson, his wife, Beth, the artilleryman, and they all have been given their own voices, so it's like the real play.
Jeff wins, spoken version of War of the Worlds. No someone would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that human affairs were being watched from the timeless worlds of space. No one could have dreamed we were being scrutinized. As someone with a microscope studies creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water, human even considered the possibility of life on other planets, and yet, across the gulf of space, minds immeasurably superior to ours regarded this Earth with envious eyes, and slowly and surely they drew their plans against us.
Well, as you can see, I even made type load War of the World 2 for the next part. And instead of using those marks in here, of course, you need to use this. But you can't show it in that, because that would mean that the program stops displaying you what's behind there. And so you get a syntax error, because after that sign and then War of the World, and then it would think like, I don't know that command War of the World. It would be very weird if that command meant that the Commodore 64 is starting a war in the world. Okay, whatever. What I also noticed is even though the voice is, I guess, done by the SID chip, the lights didn't respond to his rhythm speaking. While if you play a game or run a demo with music, it's flashing and doing all kinds of stuff. But I must say, using a speech program, it would be annoying to have a flashing keyboard under you. So I think it's actually smart of them, as if the Commodore 64 Ultimate knows when it's speaking or when it's making some music, when it's time to get your groove on. So, what I also noticed is that the voice is the same. So, if there's a change in boot up pitch, it's done by the creators and not because of it's a different version of Big Mouth. The version is the same, but if there's a tiny pitch difference, it will be because of the different poke numbers. Because this voice would be the same as if I would load in my own version and then load in this War of the World 1. Well, I made the video a bit longer because I wanted to do a comparison and the demo. I like this version because of the picture and a very nice explanation screen before the demo, I mean, before the speech synthesizer starts. But I like my version, well, I like the demo better. And the color of the text, because to me, I know that David from the 8-bit guy is also always changing the colors of his letters, because he didn't found the contrast to be proper. But to me, there's so much difference in between the dark blue and that light blue that is now the border, that how could you not be able to read that? So, and that's not only because I'm looking at a 77-inch TV by now, and in the past I had a small TV that was just a bit wider than my Commodore 64. So, but no, that other TV also had a great contrast difference between the colors, and so. Well, we will end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed the video, especially you, the one that requested the video, because it's nice to actually have a communication with people that also like the Commodore 64 and its quirky programs that you can find on it. And if I'll find something more in my collection, because there's a lot on the internals, and I still got a few things on the laptop as well, and I need to bring that over too. And of course, there's plenty to still have been discovered on the USB that Commodore gave. But that will be for a different video. I hope you have a very nice day and we see each other in the next video. Goodbye.